Ever since Love was a little girl, she loved fashion. When she was 8 years old, she discovered what a fashion designer was, and she knew that's what she wanted to be. She drew pictures of pretty models and all types of fun designs, even creating a swimsuit with 3D flowers popping off the fabric. She had collections of sketchbooks filled with pages of her designs. Every season, she kept up with the trends and would create whole collections accordingly in her sketchbook. She honed in on her drawing skills by watching online tutorials, and even though she couldn't sew, she had a goal of saving up to buy her own sewing machine so she could get lessons while learning on it. As she got older, she learned more and more about the fashion industry and what it takes to be a designer by watching shows about the behind-the-scenes world of the fashion industry, spending time online watching runway shows, renting books about influential designers from her school library, and even signing up for her school home ec classes. Love really wanted a sewing machine of her own though. The one at her school just didn't cut it. And she didn't get to take it home, so she couldn't practice as much as she wanted. Although she really wanted a sewing machine and really wanted to ask her mom, she could never bring herself to do it. Love's mother was a single mom of 5 children, all of them younger than Love. Love stepped up and became like a second mother to her younger siblings, learning how to cook on the stove and even learning how to make some food from scratch, like making French fries from potatoes. Since Love's mom worked at a plant long hours, starting the late night shift, Love would take over with getting the kids ready for bed. One night, while washing the dishes, Love's brother Dean, who was 2 years younger than her, decided to help. "Thanks for all you do, Love," he said. She was caught off guard. Thank you, Dean. I wish I could do more sometimes." "I know, me too," Dean replied. "Since I'm about to be 15 years old, I really feel it's my time to start helping out around here more when Mom is away." "That would help out a lot. But y'all know, I do it for not only you guys, but Mom too. She works so hard, and when she comes home, she's so tired. I be feeling bad for her. There's other stuff I'd like to do too, like my sewing and fashion stuff. But I don't want to bother her with mentioning anything about stuff like that right now," said Love. "Well, why don't you go get a job? The holidays are right around the corner, and a lot of places are hiring," said Dean. "Yeah, I thought about it. But what about you guys? Who's gonna watch y'all if Mama needs sleep and I'm working and stuff?" said Love. Dean stopped washing dishes and gave her a sly look. "Love, didn't I say I'm about to be 15? I think I can take care of the rest of the little ones." Then it hit her. He's right. He's definitely at the age to help watch their brothers and sisters without her. She wondered where this change of heart came from. Also, why he hasn't offered to help a little sooner. Before she said anything else, he then said, "I'm learning a lot in church. And the last sermon Pastor talked about really spoke to me for real." When he was talking about gratitude and stuff, "I know, me too," said Love. Love and her family, except her mom, since it was her mom's only day off to rest, started going to a little church up the street from them. Her youngest sister, Trina, started going and would come back with plates of food, which prompted the whole family to start going. Although Mama wouldn't go because she's not a believer, she didn't discourage them from having a relationship with God and was even open to listening to what the kids had learned. They started having their own mini Bible studies together. It was their own family bonding moment, teaching Mama about the Bible. Even the younger 3 kids, who, although can be a very rough bunch to deal with at times, were very eager to learn more about Yahuwah. "I noticed you getting teary-eyed too," he said. It made me think about Mama. How hard she works, all by herself too. She does so much for us, and I'd really love to see her shining someday in a big fancy coat, said Love. "Mink coat, huh?" her sister Tiara chimed in as she walked into the kitchen. "With a fancy hat and Louis Vuitton on her feet," Tiara added. "Don't forget camel bag or whatever you girls be saying," said Dean. Tiara and Love burst out laughing. "Camel bag," they both repeated together. Yeah, like the designer you like so much, love, Dean said. Who? Which designer? Love asked. You know, the old French lady. I don't know, Dean replied. You mean Chanel, Goofy. Love laughed out loud again, causing all three of them to start laughing again too. Just then, Tiara took a dish she was holding and threw it in the dishwater. Love and Dean looked right at Tiara when she said Chanel had cute stuff Mama and I would have perfectly fit though. Then she walked away. Things were silent for a moment. Love started washing dishes, confused as to why Tiara would say such a thing. Tiara was always throwing jabs at her older sister like that. Love would try to keep calm because she's older and she knows Tiara has had issues in the past. But Love was getting fed up. That girl knows she could have handed that dish to us instead of throwing it in like that. You want me to say something to her? Dean asked. No, it's okay. We just gotta pray for her. If she does it again though, I'ma get her, Love answered. After all the dishes were done, Love plopped down in her bed, but found herself oddly energized. Her mind was racing with thoughts, and her creative juices started flowing. She began sketching away beautiful gowns, colorful fur coats, and gorgeous sparkly outfits. She even used real glitter and rhinestone on her sketches. I've had enough dreaming, she thought. It's time to make my dream into a reality. She grabbed her laptop and started looking for jobs near her online. She couldn't find anything that interested her at first. Then she remembered what her and her brother were talking about in the kitchen and how there was plenty of jobs hiring for the holiday season. Before she looked up anything else, Love put her hand on her heart. God, please bless me with a good paying job that I'm able to do well, she prayed softly out loud. She looked up the nearest mall and saw a lot of openings. She filled out as many as she could. All I need is one call back, she said to herself. Then, as she lay back down, she found her thoughts racing again. This time, she started thinking about Tiara and what she had said to her earlier, insinuating that only Tiara and Mom can wear Chanel-sized clothing and not Love. Love got up and started to look at herself in the mirror. She looked down at her belly and her hips and felt a little sad. Although Love loved fashion, she wasn't exactly a size 0. In fact, she wasn't even a size 4. She had hips. She was a size 8. And that was something she was always a little insecure about. Though she wished to be naturally skinnier like her mom and sister, that just wasn't her body type. She always felt the need to eat very little or work out extra hard to have a dream body. While her mom told her she was beautiful, Tiara would poke fun at her about it. It got so bad, they even fought about it at church. Then the moment started playing again in Love's memory. Love was sitting in the front, away from her siblings, because she was feeling very stressed out. Tiara, ever the menace, decided to sit in the front alongside her, just to antagonize her. Tiara brought over a pen and notebook and started drawing a picture while laughing and showing some other kids who were sitting next to them. Love grabbed the notebook while asking, "What are y'all kids laughing at?" As she looked at the picture, she was instantly angry. It was a drawing of a hippo with giant hips. And the hippo was wearing a tight t-shirt that said, "Love the Hippie Hippo." Love was so mad, she got up and hit Tiara right in the face. They both ended up on the floor and got separated by other members of the church. The pastor, who hadn't come out yet because it was before service started, was very disappointed and had a long talk with Love and her mom that day. Love was so embarrassed, she let Tiara get her out of her character like that and promised God to have more patience and understanding when it comes to Tiara's attitude. Those memories coming back made Love's stomach turn with embarrassment. She almost stopped wanting to go to church for a while. But church helps out her family so much. She couldn't possibly stay away for too long. She started thinking about Tiara and her nasty attitude Everyone knows Tiara has a stank attitude, Love said in her head. She's always picking fights in school and is always kicked out. Which was true. Tiara was very hard to get along with. She likes to bully other girls, especially her older sister. Love wanted to build up her relationship with Tiara, but Tiara just pushed her away. And after the fight, they barely even spoke. When Tiara was younger, Love and her got along so well. It was almost like Tiara was Love's baby doll. Love even taught Tiara how to walk. It wasn't until Tiara went to middle school that she started acting out. Love looked out the window and looked at the few little stars in the night sky. God, please help me to love my sister, even though she says things that really hurt me. Amen. She prayed, then went to sleep. A few weeks went by, and Love hadn't heard anything back from the jobs she applied to. As she sat in class, she couldn't help but think about how much she really wanted a job. So, after school, instead of going straight home, she decided to go apply in person at the mall. She got on the bus and headed straight to Sunset Mall, her favorite mall, with the most high fashion stores with all her favorite designers. Most of the time, though she couldn't afford much in the mall, she just liked to go to Sketch and be in the atmosphere of fashionable people. This time was different. She was on a mission to get a job. It was intimidating at first, getting the courage to ask for a manager to see if they were hiring, especially when she compared herself to the employees who were dressed impeccable. But Love always managed to dress nice because she thrifted a lot of high-end pieces herself. Through her knowledge of fashion, she learned how everyone wore black from head to toe behind the scenes and the importance of its professionalism. Since she was dressed in all black anyway, she felt her look would be fine to talk to a manager in retail. She went to a few stores who told her to apply online. Just as soon as she was about to give up, a small blonde lady stopped her and said, "I love your outfit." "Girl, thank you. I thrifted this coat. Wasn't it a good find?" Love replied. "You have great taste. I love the way you paired it with the Chanel brooch and beret hat. You got it going on, girl. You look très chic," the blonde woman replied. "The brooch came along with the coat at the thrift. I love Chanel. It's one of my favorite brands," Love said. Coco Chanel is one of my favorite fashion designers. She really inspired me and my designs. "Oh, really? I'm the manager at the Chanel store," said the blonde woman. "You are? 'Cause I'm looking for a job and I'm having a hard time because I got no experience," Love said shyly. As she looked down, she felt a little embarrassed admitting that. "Oh, why don't you come up to the 3rd level and apply to our store? We're looking for seasonal members to join our team. My name's Elle, by the way." "It's nice to meet you, Elle. My name's Love. I don't have any experience, though. Is that okay?" "Well, we're gonna have to get you some. Once you get in with us, we'll teach you everything you need to know," Elle answered. Love smiled and went with Elle to the top of the floor of the mall where her store was at. Along the way, they laughed and talked about their love of clothes and Love's aspirations to be a world-renowned fashion designer. She filled out the application, thanked Elle for the opportunity, and caught the bus back home. 3 days went by, and Love received an email. It was from the Chanel store manager. Before she opened it, she said a small prayer. "God, whatever this is, I'm thanking you in advance." She opened up the email, and it read, "Congratulations! You are now an official Chanel store team member." Love was so happy, she almost came to tears. While Dean took care of the home, while Love worked her shifts, she was able to make it on time every day after school. She really enjoyed working. It helped to take her mind off any negative situations at home and the area she was in. She got to meet so many different kinds of people from all around the world and talked about her favorite topic, fashion. She was going on her 4th week of work, which meant she was getting ready for her first ever paycheck. Because the first check comes every 2 weeks, she was getting paid double Since her first 2 weeks, she was a new employee. She was so happy about her job, she almost forgot about her check. Feeling grateful to God about her new job and how successful she's been at it, she decided to surprise her mom by giving her whole check. When she got home, she saw her mom sitting on the couch with her baby brother. Love walked over to her mom. "Mom! Mom! I have something for you," said Love with excitement. "Hey, Pumpkin, I have something for you too," Mama replied. "Here," Love said proudly as she handed her mama her check. "Take it, Mama. I want you to have it so it can go towards bills and the kids and whatever else you like." Love's mom looked at the check. "I'm so happy for you, baby, but please keep your money. You earned this. I'll manage to get the bills paid, baby. Don't worry about that. I do need help with getting everyone's winter clothes, but don't worry about that either. That's what their daddies are for. Hopefully, some of them step up soon." The two little ones got all their stuff from their daddy, but Tiara's dad doesn't even answer the phone anymore. "Oh, well, here, take it, Mama. I want you to be happy," and Love started, but was cut off by her mom. "You kids make me happy. I love how y'all been stepping up and helping each other. I see how talented and beautiful you are with the fashions. You always dress yourself so nice. The old things you buy at the thrift, you really bring them new life. I want you to save your money for sewing lessons," her mom said. "Lessons? I don't even have a machine of my own. The school won't let me bring theirs home." Mama pointed to a big box on the table. The box had a picture of a dish set on it, so Love was a little confused. When Love opened the box, she lit up with joy. It was a sewing machine, a black and pink one. It was a little dusty, but was in great shape and seemed to be very high quality. My friend Carl at the job gave it to me. His mom was into sewing, and she passed away a year ago. She had just bought this sewing machine too, and he's just now getting some things from her storage unit. I went with him to go through it. She was very into fashion like you and designed clothes for Motown stars back in the day," said Mama. "She must have been a fabulous woman. God rest her soul," Love said. "I also got some more stuff for you in the trunk of my car. Some fabric and some pieces of clothes that she might have been working on that were so pretty. I know how much you like that stuff. And when I saw it, I thought of you," Mom said. Love gave her mom a big hug, and her mom handed her the keys. She ran to the car to see all her new treasures. Even her brothers and sisters were happy for her, all except Tiara, who watched from a distance, rolled her eyes, and walked away. Over the next few weeks, winter really began to set in, and it started getting a little colder. Love's manager, Elle, started giving Love rides to school, work, and home so she didn't have to catch the bus anymore. Love was also able to start buying herself all the pretty things she ever wanted and was able to tithe more than $1 to her church finally. Love bought herself a dress form, and even though her mom said keep her money for herself, Love decided to be responsible for the water bill. She also paid for sewing courses online. Once she graduates, she can get a cool certificate. After school on a Wednesday night, on her day off from work, Love was working hard on her very first ensemble. It was a part of the pieces of clothing that was started by her mom's coworker, Carl's mom. A fuchsia sweater with a pink heart on it. She added fur cuffs to the sleeves and was making a lighter pink tutu to go with it. The tutu had many ruffles and even extended in the back to give it a dramatic flair. There was a holiday party happening at her job where everyone would be free to wear whatever color they liked, rather than the usual all-black dress code. The theme of the party was Holiday Winter Gala Glam, and the best dressed would win a prize of a $500 bonus. Love decided she was going to put all of her effort into winning this contest. While taking a break from her sewing and going to the kitchen for a drink, Love heard her sister Tiara laughing loudly while talking on the phone. "She's gonna look like a fat ghetto mess," Tiara said to some girl who was on speaker. Love poked her head in ever so slightly. So what you say? You say it look like a clown outfit? Said the girl on the phone she was talking to. Yeah, it's pink and it got some corny heart on it. She tries so hard to be creative, but she just looks childish. Tiara said smugly. That girl tries so hard and fails every time. Trying. She just trying. She's such a wannabe. She ain't no designer for real, said the girl on the other side of the phone again. She ain't like me. I'm the one with actual talent around here. I don't have to try so hard, Tiara said. Yeah, girl, your cartoons are hilarious. You need to turn them into a comic book for real, Phone Girl said again. Girl, I will. Love the hippie hippo is an icon, Tiara. Love burst in. She had enough. You are so jealous of me, Love yelled. Jealous? Ain't nobody jealous of a hippie hippo, Tiara yelled back. They got in each other's faces, getting ready to fight, but Mom and Dean came in and broke them up. Go to y'all rooms now, Mama said. That's why you don't even have a real bedroom. You gotta sleep with the babies, Love said. Ugly, Tiara yelled back. No! Mom yelled, and they all walked away. I hate that girl, Love screamed. I can never love a girl like that. Jesus, I don't know how you loved everybody, 'cause I for sure don't. As soon as she said that, she sat in her chair at her desk, and her laptop, which was sitting on her desk, screensaver lit up. The screensaver was pink floral wallpaper with a Bible scripture that said, Love your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you. Matthew 5:44. She looked at it for a second, rolled her eyes, and shut her laptop. It was finally finished. After a month and a half of working on her winter gala party outfit, she was finally done. She finished her sweater with light pink fur trim, strawberry heart with crystal seeds that complemented her sparkly tutu perfectly. She put right in the middle of her sweater. Her family came to admire her beauty, except for Tiara, of course. Tiara was headed to hang out with some of her ratchet friends. Love then decided to go outside to stand in the snow to get some pics of her fabulously standing in the winter wonderland as her backdrop. Mama, hurry before I freeze to death, Love said to her mom, who was trying to figure out the phone's camera. I'm trying my best, Pumpkin. You know I'm old, Mama replied. You not that old, Love said, posing for the pics. Dean and the rest of the siblings joined Mama and Love at the doorway. Looking good, sis, said Dean, giving a thumbs up. Her baby brother Jay and youngest sister Trina ran out in the snow after her with no shoes on. We want to play too, they both said as they ran out in the snow. Y'all get in this house. Y'all don't got on no shoes or coats. Now get inside. Come on, everyone, let's get in this house. All right, Love. Baby, I think we got enough pictures, Mama said, gathering up her kids. Well, I hope I don't look fat in any of them, Love replied. Just as they all got in the house, Tiara walked by, not saying nothing to anybody. Tiara shoved her way past everyone, almost making it out the door to meet her friends. But Mama stopped her by saying, You just gonna head out like that without saying bye? Bye, Mom. Bye, Dean. Bye, kids, Tiara said nonchalantly as she stepped out the door, completely ignoring Love, of course. At that moment, Love heard a knock at the door and got a text at the same time. It was from Elle. She was outside. Elle's here. Gotta go, y'all, Love said as she kissed her mom on both cheeks. Dean waved by as he sat in the living room with the little ones, playing his Xbox. Hey, you go win that contest, Dean hollered out to her. As Love started heading out, she grabbed her earmuffs and shawl. Her mom started saying, Elle is such a good manager. She really cares for you, always making sure you have a ride back to work, school, and home. You tell her I'm so grateful. Jesus is really gonna bless her. Love's ears perked up. Mom rarely said anything about God, let alone Jesus. Love turned around, gave her mom one last hug, and headed out the door. Hey, beautiful, you look fabulous, said Elle as Love hopped in the truck. Thank you, boo. So do you, girlfriend, Love replied. Love and Elle got along greatly. because they were both girly girls who liked sparkle and fancy things, like the beautiful snowflake ballerina ornament that Elle had hanging on her front mirror. It was a tiny silver ballerina with sparkling snowflakes all over the tutu. They started talking about it, and Elle told her she made it herself, which Love really admired because she liked crafting and creating too, and didn't know too many other people who did. That's what I like about you, Love. You have such a good eye for fashionable things. That's why I hired you, Elle said. Love smiled and looked out the window. As she did, she saw a group of younger girls with black puffer coats. All but one. Love then recognized the one without her coat was her sister, Tiara. She also noticed all the girls had on similar snow boots, but Tiara, who had on sneakers in the snow. While at the red light, Love watched her sister cross to the other side. She saw her sister alongside the group of girls and noticed her pants were wet almost halfway to her knees. Is that the girl that came out of your house? Elle asked. Love nodded yes. Yeah. She's a nobody though, Love replied. Oh, okay. That's Tiara, huh? Elle asked. Should we turn around and drive her back home? She literally had no coat on, Elle said. Even though Elle didn't say anything, Elle turned around the car. Hey, Tiara, do you need a ride back home? Elle asked as she pulled up on Tiara and her friends. Love didn't say anything, just looked down. All of Tiara's friends paused for a moment, looked at Elle and Love, and burst out into obnoxious laughter, all except Tiara. She just shook her head no. As they began to drive away, they heard one of the girls yell out to them, "Get out our face, crazy old lady!" And another yelled, "You got a nice car. You can give me a ride." Then a gaggle of laughing came after. Love, embarrassed, said, "I'm sorry. She and her crunchy face friends don't know any better. They a bunch of rats." It's totally fine, Elle said. You're so cool about everything, Elle. How'd you get so cool? Asked Love. It's not that I'm so cool. I've been through a lot of crap in my life. Excuse my language, Elle replied. Really? You? Girl, you got it made. Best job ever. You're the manager. You have all the latest fashions, cool car. You're lit, Love said. Well, before I became lit, I had it hard. I was in foster care since I was a baby. I really wanted someone to love me. I never knew anyone from my family but my older sister. It was very hard for us. I really wanted to not be here on this earth for a while. I really wanted someone to love me so much, I'd do anything for it. Then God sent me a good man, who is now my husband. And now that I'm in a position in life to spread the love that I didn't have to young women who are struggling out there, I try my best to help in any way I can. I feel it's our responsibility to spread God's love that way, helping each other out, even if it's just by giving a girl a ride home, you know? I didn't know you were a believer, Elle, said Love. Oh yeah, girl. Look at my keychain, Elle said as they got out of the car. Love looked at her red, strawberry-shaped keychain with a Bible verse that said, "This is my command, that you love one another as I have loved you." John 15:12. Love stared at the verse for a second and really thought about it. Elle put her arm around her and said in a super Valley Girl way, "We talk about everything, girly girl. I can't believe I never told you I'm a Christian. My faith means everything to me." Love smiled, and they went inside the mall. The party was beautiful, and her store was decorated so fancy. There was even a violinist. The food made the store smell so delicious. Love took lots of pics with her coworker family, and her outfit was a hit. She won the $500 cash prize for the best dressed that night. The end of the holiday season was near, and Love was a little sad about it because she loved her job so much, but it was only seasonal. As she sat down, feeling grateful for all the wonderful things that had happened this past winter season, she heard what sounded like crying. She got up and peeked her head into the kids' room. It was Tiara, sitting at the end of her bed, making a phone call on speaker. The phone rang over and over. Then it went straight to voicemail. It was Tiara's father, saying to leave a message. Tiara took the phone and threw it to the floor. Love was going to walk away, but stopped just as she got flashes in her mind of her screensaver and Elle's keychain. Love looked back in the room. "Hey," said Love. Tiara looked at Love with red eyes and tears coming down her face. "You good, sis?" asked Love. "I hate that man! He ain't no daddy to me. I seen him in his truck yesterday riding around with some girl he couldn't even say nothing to me. His own daughter!" Tiara burst out crying into Love's arms. Love hadn't held Tiara like that since Tiara was a little girl. "Hey, you don't need him anyway. You got Mama. You got me," Love said, crying. Tiara broke away and sat on her bed. "You don't hate him. You shouldn't say that. Hating people only hurts you. And plus, it's a commandment in the Bible. You got to love people, even when they hurt you," Love said. "Like the way Jesus loved?" asked Tiara. "Yeah, just like Jesus." You still don't have a coat, do you?" asked Love. Tiara shook her head no. "I'ma call Elle and see if she can give us a ride to the mall. We gotta get you a whole winter wardrobe. Thank God this winter wasn't too bad. We got a little snow here and there, but it wasn't too bad. But you never know with the kind of weather we get. It can get to snowing heavy quick," said Love. "You know, I kind of like the cold," said Tiara. "I know, but not when it's below freezing, girl," they both laughed. Love called Elle, and she was free to pick them up. Hallelujah, it's a miracle she's free today, Love thought. Elle had been super busy at the store, even sending a car for Love when she couldn't pick her up. When Elle came and took them to the mall, and even though Love knew she was spending one of her last paychecks on her sister, she was happy to do it. Elle shopped alongside the girls and even bought them all cinnamon pretzels and other warm, yummy foods to fill them up. They all laughed and talked, and Tiara really opened up to both of them. She talked about the sadness from her dad not being in her life and even admitted to being jealous of Love for being older than her and having the opportunity to provide for herself without needing a dad. Tiara hugged Love, and Love squeezed her back. "Aw, you guys are so cute," Elle said, hugging the both of them at the same time. Tiara wore her new, beautiful silver glitter puffer coat with matching moon boots out of the mall, and they headed home. That night, as Love headed to her room for bed, Tiara called out to her and said, "Thanks, Love, for the coat. I really appreciate it." "You're welcome, sis," said Love. "Good night," said Tiara. "Good night." "I love you, sis," said Love. I love you too," replied Tiara. They smiled at each other. Then both headed to bed. Love went to lay down, feeling particularly peaceful. Before she dozed off, she got a text message from Elle with her name on the new schedule. Love was a little confused because she had already worked her last seasonal day. Then a following text message came saying, "Congratulations, we're offering you a part-time position. Would you like to accept?" Elle's message read. Love joyfully texted her back, "Yes," with a pink heart emoji. Elle replied back with a strawberry emoji. Then Love fell asleep, feeling so much contentment, gratitude, and most importantly, love.
Fruitful spirits shine so bright. Their faith is a guiding light. Through these doors we come to see the love of Jesus sets us free. The love of Jesus sets us free.